New build, who dis? Nah, hello, welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Blight League. This has been a long day. This is the end of the day, after, I don't even want to tell you, 14 hours probably of, just looking at this build, just switching it. Look, guys, you don't just switch a build from my previous videos to this without a lot of work. So, what you'll see here is we 6-linked Geoffrey's Sanctuary. That's only a few off perfect. It's pretty cool. We have a Baron. I got it cheaper because it's corrupted. It's 36 strength, though. It's pretty cool. I need it in the build because I have exactly 1208 strength. We have the Shaper's Touch with Curse enemies with level 10 vulnerability on hit. I have Astromentis with 16 and 95. It's really high. This is strength. 36 res and then 33 chaos res, 50 life. It's insane. We have 18% increased strength soldier boots, and then just tons of strength stacking. So yeah, 1208 strength. We have chaos res maxed as this build. It's pretty cool. It's really hard to do actually. And now we're going to showcase how this works in the deep delving. So we have 14 zombies as well. 4 specters. What are the specters, you may ask? Host chieftains, 2 of them, and carnage chieftains, 2 of them. That's it. Easy, simple. Let's go. So how this works is you go into the mine. So you may ask, Ethan, why'd you stop playing the other guy? Why the other build? No. Why you stop the other build, right? And so the other build basically gets to be summed up like this. I kept complaining a lot about stunned being stunned. Stun. So this build, I'm using unwavering stance. I wanted to tuck into it. This was the easiest way because tons of strength just is right next to it. It's great nodes. And so now here's the interesting thing. We could fully AFK and just hold down W or the Spirit Offering as well. Like, you see how we can just keep proccing shields if we really need to. So like, if I just want to tank, this is how I would do it. Just hold down Spirit Offering while my shit does everything, right? This is the god strat. You just Spirit Offering over and over. You're unkillable. Anyways, so the thing is, the build plays amazing. You saw how technically AFK that was, and we didn't even have to do any of that. We could have just sat back. So what is happening when I'm doing the skeleton? That's the great question, okay? So nothing's even leveled up, by the way. This is like unleveled stuff or unqualitied and stuff. It's a mess. Anyways, this only a level 3 in power. Like, okay. Should we showcase? Let's just talk about the build now. That's a really good example. So that was 380 delve, right? Yeah, 387 delve. I'll obviously showcase this character again at like 1,000 if I can do it. But, okay, so the build from the top down. How did that work? Why did that work? Skeletons and the Spirit Offering. Okay, let me explain. I have my skeletons. These links aren't for sure, like where I have them aren't settled for sure. But this is where I have them for now. So skeletons are in the hand. So we have the Vaal skeleton. It's a level 24 based on the level 21 base with the +2 from the Ascendancies and then +1 from the wand. Okay. So that's Vaal skeleton. We use melee fizz damage, melee splash, and feeding frenzy. I'll have a POB in the description below. Okay. I like melee splash because it helps for packs and lag. Feeding Frenzy makes every monster useful, and melee physical damage is probably, and minion damage is probably one of the best. I probably should put minion damage now that I don't have the socketed minion damage from the helmet that I had before. So actually I should switch up this color, and I should get a different glove color, I guess. Okay, the other thing is I got 36 strength in the helmet. It was really important. The number mattered. Don't worry right now about that. We use in the helmet, I'm using Race Spectre, Animate Guardian, Meat Shield, and Blood Magic. So this in itself is a whole explanation, okay? So basically, Race Spectre, we're using Host Chieftain and Carnage Chieftain, 2 of each. What they do: Carnage Chieftain gives you and your allies frenzy charges. The Host Chieftain gives you and your allies power charges. How do they work? Blood magic. Give them blood magic and watch them just generate charges like crazy. You'll see you always have power and frenzy charges permanently maxed out. The reason you use Meat Shield is to keep them close to you and your allies so that they buff them up instead of running off doing stupid shit. Animate Guardian, same thing. Buff up your allies and do good, useful things instead of stupid, dumb shit. So your helmet's just... It doesn't really matter. It doesn't even have to be the helmet. This is the point. I don't know where I'm going to be putting stuff yet, because this has +2 to socketed minion gems, so whatever is in the helmet has the best shit. So Skellies could go in the helmet to be the strongest for damage, but then I could also put the Skellies in the chest plate to be strongest for damage, and then the helmet could be the tankiest, which is levels on raised zombies. But then do I need my Animate Guardian, my Spectres to never die by doing that? And then do I take off Meat Shield and put Minion Life? All these questions will be answered in the future, but for now, this is the build and the build guide as is. In the boots, in our soldier boots, we have Flame Dash, Discipline, Spirit Offering, and Summon Stone Golem. So if you want to reduce the mana cost of Spirit Offering so that it doesn't cost anything, you could unlink it from everything so that it's by itself. That's a thing. That's easy. You could even do faster casting if you want. Take out something. You get unset rings if you wanted to, because currently we're not even using the implicits of these rings, which means we have an extra spot, which means we could get unset rings in the build very easily, which means we get 2 whole extra gems, which means we could put, for example, Flame Dash as an unsupported thing up here, or even have it supported with faster casting, with Spirit Offering, with, yeah, anyways, you know, unsupport the Stone Golem or something. Yeah, point is, the discipline doesn't even need to be linked. Okay, so the shield matters. We have Hatred connected with War Banner and Generosity support. So Generosity support makes these two only affect my allies and not me, and it makes them stronger. So Hatred's like one of the craziest minion buffs you can do, because it gives the Fizz as extra cold damage. It's so much damage. With Hatred, I mean, with Generosity too, it's insane. It's better than Pride, apparently. And then War Banner is just really good, apparently, for where we're at, because we're missing some accuracy on the zombies, I think. And so it still works. Okay, and then the last thing is in the Wand. The Wand, basically the major thing is trigger a socket spell when you use a skill. So we're triggering Stormbrand, Desecrate, and Spirit Offering. So Desecrate makes corpses. Spirit Offering will blow up the corpses and do the energy shield and the elemental resistances, and it gives you 20% of your life. As it's crazy, huge shield. And then Stormbrand to apply elemental equilibrium. And in our gloves, we have curse enemies with level 10 vulnerability on hit, which increases the physical damage that they take, which we're doing physical damage. So it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so now the biggest point is the build is strength stacking. The whole build is the Baron. So it's +1 to maximum number of raised zombies per 300 strength. Because we have 1208 strength, I have 14 zombies, 4 extra from the helmet, and then like bunch of levels in the raised zombie. It's 26 because of an empower over here. And we have levels from the wand, and we have levels from the Ascendancy, and from the tree we have the extra one because I'm using the extra allocates Death Attunement to have an extra zombie here. It's insane. Then we also get Zealot Oath, okay, from the chest plate. Zealot Oath it gives us our life regen as energy shield instead, in energy shield regen. Let me see, so first, Death's Attunement is up here. This is the one that gives us the extra raised zombie. And then Zealot's Oath is right here. Life regen is applied to energy shield instead. Yeah, so we get that for free. And then we have +2 to maximum energy shield per 5 strength. So that's how we're getting so much ES, along with this. which we get 2% increased energy shield per 10 strength, and we have 1208 strength, so you know it starts to really add up after a certain while. We also have base number, 96%. We got a really high roll in our gloves. And then here we had 70. It was really good. So, yeah, you get super high ES, and then when you proc your Spirit Offering, you also get super high 6600, and then if you go look in the numbers, you go up to 6600, 2200 recharge per second, and then your energy shield regeneration per second is 370. It's just so insane, and you have Fortify up the whole time because of the animated guardian and stuff, and the animated guardian's also giving you increased damage, increased move speed, all these bonuses that I was missing in the other build. I should have just had animated guardian in the other build, and I could have cut the Fortify from the boots. I could have cut the cyclone, cut all that stuff. Oh my god, dude, I could have made it. I can make it so much better and different, and oh my god. I have another build in mind, dude. You don't even need to strength stack, but yeah, strength stacking super broken. And then with at least 1,000 strength, 2% of damage dealt by your raised zombies is leached to you as life. So that's huge. And then I also figured out that you could probably get an enchantment from a Baron helmet for really cheap. And so I was looking them up, and you could probably also get the corruptions really cheap, which you can get percentage of life regen, which would apply to energy shield instead. And so 1.6% of life regen per second is like 77 life regen, which is quite a bit actually. So that's a thing. So we use Astramentis as the amulet because it gives all these attributes, which gives us strength. We're basically just looking for strength on everything. So strength, strength, strength. And then I was looking for reses and the chaos res, and then life and magic in maximum energy shield if I could. Super tired. I've been doing this for a long fucking time. Been trying to work this build out. Then the tree itself is a big mess because it's like it's perfection, because we just passed 1208 strength using the tree at the end there. So the final step of the tree was we got intelligence here, and we got this node to get 1 jewel socket, and then we bought this jewel, which was very expensive, but basically 5% increased area of effect, and then it gives 20 strength, which was the last little bit we needed with the extra 20% from the tree, or like from the build that we have. So we'd get like 4, so 24 strength. And then you have the extra 6% increased maximum life, was really nice as like an extra add-on. It was the thing I valued the most of all the extra add-ons I could have done as the prefix. Yeah. So then the biggest thing from the tree that we use, the jewels, the notable jewels that we have is efficient training, 2 of them. And so instead of where you would be using unending hunger, we use efficient training because it has so much shit that we use. So all of these intelligence become strength. If you actually type in the tree, if you type strength, it'll now highlight the intelligence ones because it says plus 10 to strength. Yeah, so that's cool. Found that out, and that's why we can tech over to here and actually get Ravenous Horde manually, and we don't go for Death Attunement anymore because we don't need to go up into this area, and we do it through the amulet instead. And then efficient training here because this is the other really juicy spot. In the other build, you would run the it's a jewel that gives you life for all the intelligence in the area instead of the intelligence in the area. But yeah, in this case, we're just getting the strength, which is life, which is, oh my god, it's so broken. And then when you come all the way down here, you get utmost might, 8% increased strength, really cool. We also have bloodless, which I had in the other build, which was enemies cannot leech life from you. I still have that amulet, haven't sold it. Then we have just additional fizz damage reduction and all res and armor. We use unwavering stance, we can't be stunned. We use inexorable, so we can get endurance charges. What's also really funny about this is my animated guardian actually has a chest. I don't remember what it's called, but it generates endurance charges when it gets hit as well. So not only I am generating endurance charges, so is it, and then it can also share the endurance charges with me and my allies. So that's pretty cool. We use Juggernaut to get the increased life recovery from Flask, and then the increased life and armor. It's just all this good stuff. I went through here, which was only because I needed the reses. The all reses were a big issue in the build. I got them figured a little bit out, and now we have the extra sockets on the mods on the rings, so made a lot of good work on the build. It's kind of funny how many items in this build are just uniques and you don't have much room, which is why it's like it was a lot of work to make it really good. I still think there's a lot of variations I can make. Like, you could technically completely delete Elemental Equilibrium from the tree. You could delete Stormbrand, and then we could just go off of a setup where we're just getting destroyed. Like, I just want to take 1 billion damage, you know, and get cast 1 damage taken, and with Spirit Offering, and just keep generating unkillableness. So then I also, here I have 76% Chaos Res, so I could, in the tree, have teched 1 extra life and Chaos Res, but there was no point because I was maxed, so I didn't do that. So the tree, again, will be in the POB in the description below. What else do I have to explain? There's also a roll in the belt, so this is actually a level 86 belt, and it's eldered. So you can actually hit this roll. I think I have one in here. Let me find it. So it's increased attributes, and you can roll up to 11 or 12% or something, or maybe even 13. I don't know. It's something insane. And so it's a really, really good roll for a build where you're strength stacking. I just didn't need it in the current spot. So if I wanted to upgrade, a viable way of doing upgrades is to get that on the belt, because it saves you a ton of strength necessary in the build. It's really expensive and hard to hit, in my opinion, because you have to get the Elder Belt, and then you have to hit the Elder Roll Tier 1. There's 2 different tiers, and there's a million, like, rolls of it. And then you also have to hit the Strength with the... And then you have to hit Reses and the Chaos and all this useful shit along with it, dude. It's not simple. So I'm thinking maybe Fossils, and it'd be really expensive. That's why I listed this one for 2.4x. I think the other ones were 2.5, so I undercut them just a little bit. It's insane, though. Like, and then the previous items from my old build, like, I don't even know. The Claw sold for 5x, guys. I could have sold it for probably 20. It's really it's stupid. This was the old shield from this build. This was the old glove from this build before I bought the corrupted version with vulnerability. I tested out Monster Gruul's Grasp, and I was like, wait, why do I need this? Why would my zombies die? Are you dumb? You're doing something wrong if your zombies are dying and you need this, okay? Why would I want to reduce the maximum number of raised zombies from 14 to 7 with this shitty item? The only reason is enemies killed by zombies explode, dealing 20% of their maximum life as fire damage. That part's cool. Yeah. Is there anything I haven't gone over? Oh yeah, there's another option. So instead of using Flame Dash, you could run Leap Slam, faster attacks, and Fortify. If you don't want to run the Animated Guardian, or if you want another way of generating Fortify or whatever, you don't even have to run the Fortify, okay? Just faster attacks, Leap Slam, and then the reason that you're doing attacks in the build, so now you can add Holy Relic. And because you have Holy Relic, you get that extra regen, which is applied to your energy shield instead of your life. You could also then, because you're attacking, you get the Fortify, or you could do what was that other attack thing that I was doing? You could add a mod to, like, your ring or something. Like, you see how I have 2 attacks. So these don't actually do anything in the build currently because I don't actually attack. I don't physically attack. I only use spells. I use Stormbrand and my Flame Dash hits. You'll occasionally notice that the only way that I can kill things is Stormbrand or Flame Dash, and I will get kills because it'll show up on the War Banner kill tracker, basically. And that's a kill tracker. Because I never get the max in a map from my own kills. So that's a thing. And then, yeah, you could run the attack stuff instead. And it's another option, another way to take the build. It's up to you. I'm really just testing stuff right now with the whole, like, triggering the socket spell thing. The only thing right now is, with Hatred, the elemental equilibrium makes sense. It's so easy. It's free damage. Like, why? I don't know how I'm ever going to get away from this. I don't know how to get away from Hatred, Generosity, and elemental equilibrium, which then if I have elemental equilibrium, I need the Stormbrand, and then if I want the Storm, like, or whatever, a way to apply the elemental damage, and if I want to apply the elemental damage, then I'm going to have a way of applying it, which was through, in the other way, Cyclone. There's technically, I can go cast when damage taken methods, because I can actually tank in this build. That's the whole point of it, is tanking. So I probably should be looking at, like, an option to get, well, I don't know. I kind of like the way of, like, manually casting Spirit Offering now. That option's really nice. I can just keep myself and everything alive as long as there's corpses, and as long as my stuff is alive, corpses are just going to keep happening. And so as long as I up the damage and up my life pool, then, yeah, we're golden. Like, we have a lot of room to upgrade in the build. The build's amazing. Like, there's not much to say. This build already existed from the previous. I just took what I've liked the most, and brought it, and then showcasing. So the other aura I run, I forgot to point out, I don't Generosity this one. It's called Discipline. I don't even have the Watcher's Eye anymore. So the only other two jewels I'm running is, like I said, this one, which was to get the extra strength and life. And then there's one more. Where is it? Here it is. So this had 8 extra to all attributes, so it was 8 extra strength, and then we only have 21 to ES, and then 34 life, and 15 to lightning res. So we weren't actually capped in reses, and I capped it through 1 jewel. I had 2 open sockets that I wasn't even using, and so then I capped it through my jewels, because for some reason, like, people seem to think that you're set in your ways of you have to use, like, oh, you're a minion build, you have to use abyss jewels, you have to have minion you have to go flat light, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, the build's so, this build that I made off of the what I viewed as the top stats, the build is hybrid across, like, everything. You can go so many things. It ends up being so much cheaper than you would think. Like, it looks quite expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than you think because there's so many options. Like, I don't know. They'd have to nerf, like, the key items, I guess. Nerf these items and then it gets gutted, right? That's how you do it. Nerf the uniques, nerf the strength stacking items. There you go. I love it. I love this build. I'll showcase one more thing, one more Nico. And yeah, this build took me absolutely forever. I hope you guys enjoy the POB. And if you thought the last build was really tanky and I barely took any damage and I, like, never died, yeah, let's showcase some more stuff. So I also, having the Spirit Offering manual cast is really, really nice because in these, when you're deep delving, in certain areas, you're going to have on-death stuff messing you up a lot. So I'm trying to get some to showcase it here. So some of the things in the hollow area that I'm in right now will spawn these blue spikes on the ground, and they're really terrible and awful to you. Okay, so we have all their skellies down. We summon the big, and now we're just gonna keep Spirit Offering. We remove all the corpses so fast that there's not enough corpses to keep going with the Spirit Offering, man. That's actually scary. I don't I don't have enough corpses with this. Which really, at this point, we're just becoming a corpse build, dude. Hee. Definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Thoughts are happening. I think that's it. There's so many options still. There's so much progression still for the build, but I think that a build to showcase 388. Oh, and like the reason I didn't show a map is I took a map, put all the frags, made it super laggy, 5 FPS. It took a little while to clear just because of the like how laggy it was for me, but honestly, it was a breeze. It's a joke. I have a little bit more trouble in delving just because of I guess corpses are annoying still. So I'm trying to like Spirit Offering is really cool. I need a way to like work out how to break the game, but it's gonna probably be some sort of cast when damage taken. But I wish the cast when damage taken's calculated the dots properly. Like, oh god, dots are so dumb. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have played this build and like it too, and have used Host Chieftains, Carnage Chieftains, etc., and like them, then let me know what you guys think, and if you agree how broken they are. Here, actually, let me show you. Focus on my power charges and frenzy charges on this next one. So you can see I have 1 endurance charge because I got hit. I have 1 power charge because of the Host Chieftain. So I had taken out Convocation for Spirit Offering because I think that Spirit Offering was slightly better in delving, and in every situation I don't actually need Convocation. The only reason you would run Convocation is if you relied on your minions to be next to you, but I can get hit and it's perfectly fine. The biggest thing here is that we can summon skeletons whenever we are actually in danger, or we can flame dash, or we can tank. We have options. Skellies are really good. You don't actually need to rely on the zombies and stuff for all that. So let me fix this. That's probably why the thing has felt so awkward. The Spirit Offering. Let me try again now with this new. But yeah, you can pretty much keep Spirit Offering up 24/7 all the time, and then whenever you need to regenerate the shield, you can at will regenerate like 2,000 of the shield, not counting the one that's in the one that's triggering. And then you could also cast when damage taken one as well. The one in the one probably, if you took out the Stormbrand and then did Stormbrand like manually or something. But no, you'd probably just have to do it manually, doing like a unset ring. I'm gonna definitely have to look at unset rings and figure out if I can get those slotted into the build, because extra sockets now would be so valuable now that I know how many things I want to use in the build. I want at least 2 extra things. They're very cool. But yeah, you can see how cool the build is and how much better it feels than the other one, because we literally can't be stunned. The only problem we ever have is not being able to run through minions or monsters. Sorry, but why would we need to run through the monsters? We're killing them. If there's monsters alive, we should be there and killing them, you know? So if they're blocking me, then that's fine. It's not like I'm worried about dying, you know? This build doesn't worry about getting hit. That's why I want to get this cast when damage taken Spirit Offering thing in the build, because it would be super, super cool. again to get it back in the build because of how strong it is again. How good I can tank. What the fuck killed me? Look how good I can tank. And that thing, that was a Miranda. What was that? Where Jonah? Look how good I can tank. Okay, no one made it to this part in the video, but if you have and you like that ending, then support me on Patreon and YouTube members. So let's thank my Patreons. Oh, did that wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, here we go. Do that. Thank you, White Wolf and Tradnix, for the support on Patreon. These are my Patreon supporters. You gotta toggle this to show that. Yeah. Thank you for all the support. I love you guys. These are my 2 supporters. We have to put them in the colors because that's what I did put on my Patreon. I orange for 20 and yellow for 10. Thank you to both of them and any new Patreon supporters. I will update this dynamically as people support, and I might have to change the font size, to be honest. Maybe we'll figure something out. We'll make it work, you know, whatever. Maybe we'll have multiple pages. We'll like tab through who knows, you know? We can hope. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed. This build's super cool, and I can't wait to now push deep delving. I honestly was having a lot of trouble. I spent a few hours like just slamming my head into a wall with the main build trying to make it work. And I just kept looking at unwavering stance thinking, man, I really need this. Man, I really need to not be stunned. Cannot be frozen. Didn't do it. I don't know. And then not having the physical damage reduction that this build has. So I'm thinking what happened there is I didn't have the armor that I needed because I didn't pop my pots. So I didn't go up to the 90% physical damage reduction. Yeah, that's probably what happened. And then they hit me and there was some like rogue exile or something. Makes sense. There's probably some modifiers as well in the area. Let's take a look. So that says Nemesis mod. Really bad. Really bad. Nemesis mods can be really bad. Don't know what it had, but that alone will do it. You want to be careful for that, apparently. That was something I read about. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.